So, you failed. But guess what? Failure always brings you a gift. And that gift is called experience. Now you know how to do it better. Now you know how to do it differently. Now you know how to do it successfully. At the margin, it is always worth taking a risk. You can't be so afraid of failing that you fail to take a risk, because risks are what help you to grow. Every leader takes a risk at some point during their career. In the early part of their career, they take a lot of risks. And as they get more and more senior, they may take fewer risks, but those risks have greater value. You have to understand that fear has no place in your success equation, because anytime you approach anything in your life, personally or professionally, from a position of fear, you always underpenetrate that opportunity. And as I like to joke, whenever I feel that fear creeping up the back of my neck, because it happens to all of us, I remind myself of that old Southern saying that fear is just false evidence of things appearing real. It's really not there. What's the worst that can happen is that you fail. And as I said, failure always brings you a gift. There is not a person walking on the planet that hasn't failed at something. The fact that you fail is not the issue. It's how and if you recover. There are lots of people that make mistakes. They fall down and they stay down. As the great Dr. Benjamin Mays said, you don't have to let a stumble become a fall. It's important that if you fail, number one, you own it. Number two, you talk about how it happened, what you learned. And number three, you talk about how you're going to recover, how you're going to fix it. Don't hang your head in your work environment because you make a mistake. Own the narrative. I did it. Here is how it happened. I wish I had known A, B, or C, but I own it, and this is what we're going to do to fix it. If you hang your head and you worry about the fact that you made a mistake, you're now giving somebody else the power to own the narrative, and they will repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And you will feel like you will never get from underneath that weight. If you own the narrative, hold your head high, move on to the next thing. Then you don't give someone else the power to use it against you. There isn't a person in your organization that hasn't made a mistake, but it's about how you articulate the mistake and how you articulate the recovery, and then you must intentionally move on past it. Or create the narrative. If you want to continue to go back to it and go back to it and go back to it again, you're the one that should talk about it. But I caution you against that, because the more you talk about that mistake, the more it will get into your psyche, and it will start to have an impact on how you move forward. Extract the lesson and move on and invest in the next try. That's how you handle mistakes. That's how you handle failure. What did you learn? Extract the lesson, take it with you, and accelerate ahead. Go get them.